Peace be with you. My name is Allan Keislar, and although I'm in America, I'm always thinking about Pakistan. And I'm a little bit late starting my chat today because I was amazed when I realized just 5 minutes before I was about to start my chat that this is an extremely special day today. On Saturday at I think it was 2:45 or so in the afternoon, as I was just completing a Zoom conference with many of my high school classmates, the summer solstice occurred, meaning summer began. And just a few hours later, as I was just preparing to leave the 50th anniversary celebrations of my favorite 50th anniversary, wedding anniversary celebrations of my favorite high school classmate, Gabriel Campbell, and his good wife, Lynn, the solar eclipse began. And of course, a solar eclipse means that a new lunar month is about to begin soon. And of course, just that was about 8:45 p.m. in California time. So just 3¼ hours later, midnight occurred. So a new week began, because that was Sunday beginning, and a new day. So the new day, Sunday, the new week, the new lunar month, and the new season all began within a few hours of each other, or at least the heralding of the new lunar month. So it occurred to me, wow, this is a very, very special time for beginnings, new beginnings. And I thought this is a time for awakening of the people of the earth to the reality that the satanic control of the world, which has been going on for thousands of years, is ending. And the kingdom of God on earth, which people have been looking forward to for thousands of years in practically every religious tradition. There are prophecies to this effect. So the kingdom of God on earth is coming into reality. So it's a wonderful time for a new awakening to this truth, which many people are still unaware of, being afraid of what's going on in the world. But if we pray and meditate, we get some inner guidance, we can become aware of this truth. They say that the darkest part of the dark night occurs right before the dawn. So this horrible situation in the world today where everyone's in so much fear and anxiety, no need to be in fear and anxiety. We should be very, very happy, understanding that we have now reached the darkest part of the dark night. And the new day, the dawn of the new day is beginning. That long prophesied and long awaited kingdom of God on earth. It's actually coming into reality right now. So that's all I wanted to say. We will see if we have any questions or comments on any subjects. Ghulam Muhyiddin says, Assalamu alaikum, I love you. Wa alaikum salam ji, I love you too. And he goes on to say, your face is shining, mashallah. Thank you very much, because I'm very, very happy. Yes, Ghulam Muhyiddin goes on, I can feel your happiness, sir. Yes, I'm very, very happy. Especially happy today when I realized all these amazing coincidences, you might say, or providence, that the new season, summer, and the new lunar month beginning, and the new week and the new day all starting. So I said, wow, this is a sign from the heavens, confirmed in the heart, that we should all wake up to this fact. Don't just concentrate on the fact that the darkest part of the dark night is surrounding us, but look to the horizon, the eastern horizon, where the sun is rising. The dawn of the new day has come. So yes, I'm very, very happy. Ghulam Muhyiddin continues, I want to be as optimistic as you. Okay, just pray and meditate and study scriptures especially. Don't study the mass media. That will mislead you. Mostly it's fake news they're promoting, but study and meditate, pray, and you will see the truth that I'm experiencing myself, and you will also become very happy. So Ghulam Muhyiddin continues, Sir, let's start the discussion. What's your opinion about Arab countries? Well, my opinion about Arab countries is, I will be very frank, they were chosen by God, especially Arabia, to be the place where the dawning of a new age began with the coming of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the final prophet before the day of judgment. And now the Arab countries have declined from that glorious position, lost their correct understanding about the significance and the meaning of the revelation brought to us in the Holy Quran by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And now, in Pakistan, the new age, the real new age, not the new age of the hippies or the new age of the Illuminati, new age, one world order. No, not that new age. The real new age of the dawning of the kingdom of God on earth. That is happening in Pakistan, and I believe it will also happen in Jerusalem, in Israel and Palestine, and it will also happen in the United States. I think especially in Alabama. Alabama means Allah Bahma in Persian language. It means God with us. So I think Alabama, where I lived myself for several years back in the 1970s, is a special place too. So Pakistan is a very, very special place, the land of the pure, where pure-hearted people will gather and establish a community of love and truth and justice and peace, beginning of world peace. And similarly in Jerusalem, especially the Jews and the Muslims and also Christians and Druze and other groups of people living there, they will also come together in love, worshiping God together as the Jews enter the Masjid al-Aqsa and begin reciting the namaz or the salat with the Muslims. And the Muslims, understanding that right on that very spot is the holy Temple of Solomon, Muslims will also, God willing, learn the Jewish prayers and recite them along with the Jews in Masjid al-Aqsa, in the Temple of Solomon. And in the United States, the, what should I say, the true Muslims, the people who know that Islam means love, truth, justice, compassion, forgiveness, unity, awareness of the unity of God and the unity of humanity, all races of people, especially the people in the United States, the Afro-American people will lead this in the United States. That's my conviction. In Alabama, I lived in Alabama, in Montgomery, Alabama for a couple of years, and Lowndes County is right near Montgomery, which is heavily populated with Afro-Americans. And I met them and I knew them, very deep, spiritually very deep people, very connected to God and very connected to the earth, to the black earth of Lowndes County, very rich soil. And so I believe the Afro-American people of the United States will also lead to the establishment of world peace starting in Alabama. So that's my opinion about the Arab countries. They had their glorious time, incredible, the civilization, the glorious spiritual civilization that was started in the Arab countries and has now faded, sad to say, but it's the truth. So now Pakistan and Jerusalem and Alabama. will take their place. That's my belief. And the center of a new spiritual awakening, the reestablishment of pure Islam, and the end of the misunderstanding of what Islam means, a very narrow sectarian idea that has spread through Muslim communities, which is wrong understanding of Islam. So unfortunately, the Arab countries have lost the true understanding of Islam for the most part. But fortunately, the people of Pakistan, the people of Jerusalem, and the people of Alabama will understand the true meaning of Islam. Pure Islam means love, especially love, and truth and justice, and service of God and service of all of God's creation. So that's, but the Arab countries will also follow. The whole world will follow the lead of Pakistan, Jerusalem, and Alabama, God willing. Thank you very much for that great question and all your comments. Ghulam Muhyiddin Sahib. Sayyid Athar Qadiri says, Assalamu alaikum, respected Babaji. You look very energetic and joyful. Big hugs and regards. Yes, I'm feeling very energetic and joyful as I become aware of the significance of the new season, summer beginning, and the new month beginning, the new lunar month, and the new week, and the new day. All began day before yesterday and yesterday. So this is the first new day today, Monday, when all these 4 things began. A coincidence, a coincidence or a providential revelation of the beginning of a new era when people will become aware of what's really happening in the world. And all the fake news of the mass media will be eclipsed, like we had the eclipse of the sun. So the truth will come out. The truth is love. As love conquers, truth conquers. Okay, Arif Jahan, when you think satanic control of the world will end? It's ending. It's already ending. Good people are coming forward. Satanic people are actually they are themselves aware that their plans to take over the world are failing. They had a long standing, not only decades or centuries, for thousands of years, satanic people have been making a plan to take over the whole world. It was supposed to happen by the year 2000. That was their plan. And they failed in that. Then they thought, well, we'll do it by 2012 or by 2020. But now they've realized their plans have failed. And the good people of the earth are coming together as one in love and truth and justice, and working together to establish the kingdom of God on earth. The coming of Prime Minister Imran Khan into power, the coming of President Trump into power, these are signs. These are 2 very good, God-fearing gentlemen who the satanic mass media has criticized and blasted, and falsely always giving false news about them. But now the truth is coming out. Also, President Trump just had on Saturday evening a huge rally in Oklahoma. Okay. It's okay. Nobody was wearing masks and social distancing. These are 2 signs that the satanic people are trying desperately to force all the world into their control. That's what I think. I think with this wearing of masks is not actually helpful for controlling the COVID-19 spread. That's their propaganda, but I don't think it really helps that much. We have a lot of medical evidence that the masks do not actually stop the virus from coming out, and they don't really provide much protection. So President Trump is well aware of that. He never wears a mask. And we know, those of us who understand this, the mask is actually a sign of the slavery, the sign of that you are accepting the oppression and the fake news of the satanic forces, which, above all, they've succeeded for a long time by controlling the mass media. Almost all the mass media around the world is controlled by just 6 satanic families. Not that everyone in those families is satanic, but basically those families are in league. They're not 6 families, they're one, all working together under the direction of Satan. So that satanic control of the world is already ending. And the sign of that was the opening of the Kartarpur corridor. That is what the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told me on November 9th, 9th of November 2019, 9/11. I didn't think of that till right now. That was 9/11/19. So on that day, the Kartarpur corridor was opened between India and Pakistan in the area of Kartarpur, the very holy, holy place. And now, at least at that time, people from India could come freely into Pakistan, that is the Kartarpur area of Pakistan, without any visa, even without a passport. All they need was a Indian national ID card, and they could come into Pakistan, into Kartarpur. That was a very, very special development. Very, very significant. It should have been covered by the media all over the world. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told me, this is the sign of coming world peace. And he told me this is the culmination of Armageddon. And this is our first great victory in the Ghazwa-e-Hind. He told me these 3 things about that special opening of the Kartarpur corridor on 9th of November last year. So that was a sign. Satanic control of the world will end. And of course, immediately, the satanic people created and released and spread all over the world this novel coronavirus and tried to terrify the whole world by it, tried to make everyone afraid so that we would do whatever they told us to do. But they're failing. President Trump is in the lead too, showing people you don't have to follow and believe these nonsense, these false, fake news reports about what's happening in the world. So I'm very, very happy understanding all of this, knowing without any doubt the satanic control of the world is ending. Alina Mazhar, how can we qualify ourselves to enter trans-dimensional existence? That is perhaps the most important question in terms of what we can do for ourselves. Well, prayer and meditation, and above all, zikr, calling on the names of God. That is the best thing in my experience, and well as what I've been taught, the best thing we can do to qualify ourselves to enter into trans-dimensional existence. Trans-dimensional existence means spiritual existence. The original reality is, the eternal reality is the spiritual or trans-dimensional existence. You may say the throne of God, the kingdom of God in the spiritual existence. So that eternal trans-dimensional reality is our real goal of existence. And so how can we go there? The most important thing is calling on the name of God, not repeating. Even a parrot can say Allah, Allah, Allah. Yes, and they do. Or any Jehovah, Jehovah, Adonai, Adonai, Ram, Ram. Parrots can be taught. So we don't mean just mechanically repeating the names of God. We mean from the heart. So if you can, with the depth of feeling, from the depth of your heart, call on the names of God. And actually, we are taught, with tears in the eyes, so sincerely and so desperately calling on God, the holy name of God, to please be merciful to us and grant us your company. Let us enter into your eternal trans-dimensional existence. That is the way to qualify ourselves. The best thing is that prayer and meditation, studying scripture, associating with spiritual people. There are many things, but it all starts, in my understanding, with the mercy of the saints, and we begin to call on the name of God, which many people are doing. You've already started entering, you're qualifying yourself to enter into trans-dimensional existence when you have begun calling on the name of God. But it must be very sincere, very from the depth of the heart. It must be true, not superficial, not like a parrot can repeat the name of God. Okay, very good question. Thank you very much, Alina Ji. And Hira Fahim says, Salam, Allan, please make a dua for me that Allah guides me and strengthen me in both lives, worldly and my spiritual life. Oh Allah, please strengthen Hira Fahim, guide her, both in her spiritual life and also in her worldly life. They're not separate. Real guidance in spiritual life and real guidance in worldly life are the same. That is, qualifying ourselves to enter into trans-dimensional existence and helping other people. Not only for ourselves we want, but we want as many people as we can to join us in our entering into trans-dimensional existence, attaining the throne of God. That is the ultimate goal. So that's strengthening our worldly life. Doesn't mean making more money or this or that. Strengthening our worldly life means developing love, developing kindness. That is strengthening our worldly life. And that is the same as strengthening our spiritual life. So we are praying for you, Hiraji. Thank you. Zaman Khan says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. I hope you will be fine. All the time I think about God. And sometime I thought God is time, or time is God. I think that's a good thought. I think, in one sense, yes, we can say time is God. Time is certainly an aspect of God. It is under the control of God. And in one sense, you can say time is God. I can accept that. But God is much more than just time. But yes, time is definitely a representation of God's power, because nothing can escape time, the control of time. Everyone grows old and dies. Some people say, I don't believe in God. Okay, don't die. Time will take you at the correct time, at the proper time, at the best time for you. You will die. You cannot avoid God then. If you don't believe in Him, He will come to you as death and take you. So, yes, so in some sense, time is God. But God is more than just time, but certainly I accept that idea that time is God, the energy of God, the activity of God directly. So Hira Fahim goes on, also pray that Allah be happy with me. I be a better Muslim, Ameen. Well, you be a better Muslim and He will be happy with you. Alina Mazhar says, Sir, what is trans-dimensional philosophy and what are its practices? Trans-dimensional philosophy means spiritual awareness, and awareness of the reality of eternal spiritual existence. This world we're living in, which is very temporary, we ourselves, our bodies are temporary. We live only a few decades or hardly ever more, even 100 years. So that's actually a tiny, tiny, brief span of time, hardly, like a speck. So that's the first thing I would say. We realize how we are so temporary in this world. Our bodies are so fragile, we can die any moment. But there is an eternal trans-dimensional existence. And that is our goal, is to enter there and to help others come back to home. Our real home is with God. So let's see. And what are its practices? Again, the main practice of trans-dimensional philosophy is to call on the name of God, to humbly beg God to please be merciful to us and take us. We want to serve you. We want to be with you. That is the essence of trans-dimensional practice, zikr. And there are, of course, many other things which every religion teaches the same thing. Every religion has this practice of tasbih. In every religion, maybe not every religion, but almost every religion, one aspect or another of every religion, as far as I know, they have something like zikr, calling on the name of God, and often a tasbih or a mala, a string of beads on which one can repeat the names of God, counting how many times one does. So not only zikr, but also using a tasbih is a very practical, good way to call on the name of God. Okay, Khush Bhakt Mewani says, how do you know about all this? Is it just a talk? No, it's not just a talk. How do you know about anything? The only way ultimately you know about anything is when you, in your heart, you feel it's true. You're convinced. You have no doubt. That is direct knowledge. So that doesn't come by study in a university or school. It doesn't come even by reading holy books. Ultimately, it comes only when your heart becomes purified, when you become a real Pakistani. Pakistani means pure person. So then you will feel the truth in your heart. Your intuition will confirm what scriptures are saying, and you will understand it directly. That is how you know. That's true knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Ghulam Muhyiddin says, Sir, I am very keen of reading books, especially spiritual books, but I just read about a quarter and I am not able to complete books. Guide me in this matter. I waste so much time on Facebook, Twitter, etc. How can I finish my habit of extra usage of social media? Just throw away your cell phone. Very good question. And very interesting to me that I just finished talking about spiritual books, even holy books. You cannot reach ultimate knowledge just by reading them, but reading them is very, very good. It's very, very helpful. But ultimately, you have to fly your own plane. You cannot depend on anyone else or anything else. So in terms of spending so much time on Facebook, Twitter, etc., throw away your cell phone, throw away your computer. Don't have to throw it away literally, but just set it aside or maybe lock it up in a safe which has a timed release, so the safe cannot be opened for a week or a month, however long you want to make your spiritual retreat. And then you'll have a good time. You'll have a good experience. I've done it many times, for a week or for 2 weeks, where I don't use the cell phone or the computer. Hardly. If there's some emergency, I might, but that's the easy way to do it. Just throw it away, lock it up, give it to somebody else to keep for you, and then it'll be easy to not spend so much time on Facebook and Twitter. These things, Facebook and Twitter and these things, they are designed to trap you in them. So you have to be very, very careful. So if you really want to do that, just lock it up for a while. Sudhir Ahmed, Assalamu alaikum, respected Babaji. I thank you very much for the opportunity to stay together on another blessed evening. Evening for you, morning for me. Okay, Sayyid Attar Qadri says, Babaji, what is your take on current situation of India, and especially in Kashmir, as a lot of bloodshed happening all around us every passing day? Is there any end to this genocide? Yes, this is genocide, and it is horrible. And as I've said before, when a martyr is killed, it is said that every drop of blood that falls to the ground is a seed of a new spiritual personality. So that's what's happening. All of this horrible bloodshed that is happening, all of these atrocities that are going on in Kashmir, they are the sign that a new generation of pure Kashmiris, pure Pakistanis, pure Khalistanis, pure Indians, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter. They are the new world that is coming, the world of God, the kingdom of God. So Kashmir, just like everywhere in the world. But Kashmir is definitely one of the worst, if not the worst, places where atrocities are being committed right now. It's a sign that Kashmir will also be the place where the seeds of the new age of love and truth and justice will take root very quickly and germinate into a beautiful garden. Kashmir used to be the most beautiful place in the world that I had seen. I visited Kashmir when I was a child. What year was it? Um, in the 1950s. I can't remember right now the exact year, but more than once. And Kashmir, Dal Lake, uh, Pahalgam, Khagan. These places are so beautiful. So Kashmir used to be considered the most beautiful place in the world, the garden of the world, and it will be again. So don't worry about the horrible things that are happening. Understand that this is the dropping of blood. Droplets of blood are the seeds of the new world of love and peace. Kashmir has been traditionally a place where people of different religions were working together. It was better than most parts of India where there was a lot of hatred between different religious groups. But Kashmir has a tradition where Muslims and Hindus cooperated, worked together. So it will happen again, inshallah. Okay, I can't read all the comments, I think, but Sabahat, Sabahat Arshad says, the current condition of Muslim Ummah is disappointing. Yes, it is, especially, I'll repeat, in the Arab countries. It's very, very sad to me to see what is happening in Arabia and how the true meaning of Islam has been almost completely eclipsed. Love and truth and harmony has been replaced by narrow-mindedness. But in Pakistan, the condition of the Muslim Ummah is now improving, and it will spread from Pakistan around the whole Muslim world and around the whole world. Understanding. What does Islam mean? It's kindness, service, service of God and service of all humanity and service of all creation. So don't worry that the condition is very disappointing. It is improving, and you can start it. Especially in Pakistan, land of the pure, you become pure-hearted yourself, and you can be instrumental in... Sorry, we lost the signal there for a moment. So Sabahat is asking, yes, ye sab kaise theek hoga? How will this all happen? How will it all... Well, it will happen when you do it yourself. That's the best answer. It is dependent upon each one of us, especially the people of Pakistan. So you just pray, meditate, call on the name of God. That's the most important essence. That's the beginning. Study the Holy Quran and other holy books too. Not only in the name of Allah, you can call on the name of God from different languages, different religious traditions. And as people do this and come together, Pakistan will become the center of the world's attention. Especially as the Muslims and Sikhs in Pakistan and Khalistan come together in love, everyone will be astonished. Because in the past history has been very sad. The way Muslims and Sikhs were inimical, to put it mildly, were fighting and killing each other, based on misunderstanding, because Baba Nanak Sahib, the founder of the Sikh community, was actually a great Sufi. He was a pure Muslim. But there was misunderstandings and a lot of even violence. So when Sikhs and Muslims come together in love, as is already happening, especially in Kartarpur, the Pakistani government under Prime Minister Imran Khan, and with the full cooperation support of the Pakistani military, the Sikhs and Muslims are coming together in love. And when the people of India, especially the people of the world, see this, then they will be astonished. And they will say, let us follow this example. We want a place where there's love and peace between communities that used to be antagonistic. They used to be fighting with each other, even killing each other. Now, coming together in love. That's what we want. That's what all the people of the world want. So as the satanic control diminishes, this is what's going to happen. तो कैसे होगा ये? ठीक होगा वैसे ही जब तुम खुद और हम सब अल्लाह का नाम लेते हैं और हमारे दिल पाक हो जाते हैं और हम मोहब्बत करते हैं दूसरों से, सब दूसरों से। और दूसरे पाकिस्तान के बाहर, पाकिस्तान और खालिस्तान एक ही है, पाकिस्तान और खालिस्तान के बाहर जो लोग रहते हैं वो पाकिस्तान खालिस्तान को देखेंगे तो ऐसे ये ठीक होगा। जब वो देखते हैं वो खुद पाकिस्तान खालिस्तानी बनना चाहेंगे। Kamal Zubair, have you talked to Allah? If I tell you the truth, will you believe me? Yes, we all talk to Allah, but many of us don't realize it. Allah is in our heart, and He is always giving us guidance. So we can talk to Him. That is what prayer is. Prayer means talking to Allah, right? Sami Allahu liman hamida. When we praise God, He is hearing us. So we're talking to Him. And when we listen, when we meditate, God talks to us, no doubt. So yes, we can all talk to Allah. We just have to keep practicing so our hearing becomes clear. Sudhir Ahmed says, people today are very fanatic and hardly accept others' religion, and don't want to mix with them. Even if they try, the people of other religion see it doubtfully and always suspicious. And think perhaps they accept them for their ulterior motives. Very good point. That's very true. That's exactly the plan of Satan, to divide people, to make them mistrust each other, to end any possibility of love between people. And religion is one of the main tools that Satan has used for a long time to divide people and to make them fight with each other and even kill each other. It's horrible. That's, of course, exactly the opposite of what every religion teaches. So, unfortunately, people today are still often very fanatic, and they think my religion is the right one, only my religion is good, everyone should join my religion. That is misunderstanding. No religion actually teaches that, but many people in many religions teach that. So that is their misunderstanding. So as the truth becomes known, as the satanic control diminishes, the media is also promoting these divisions, not only between religions, within a religion. He is fanning the flames of Sunni Shia misunderstanding and fighting, and the flames of Catholic Protestant division and hatred. And in every religion there are sects that are being promoted by the satanic forces to divide and rule. But as people become aware of the truth, that is changing. So don't worry, it will change. You're right, people are often suspicious of people of other religions, but that we can all pray that it will change, and God will hear our prayers, and He will change it. It is changing. Just think the difference between the situation in the world today and 100 years ago. 100 years ago, there was hardly any cooperation. There was hardly any friendship between people of different religions. Oh, in some parts of the world it was not like that. But in most of the world it was like that. And now it's very different. People of different religions are coming together, meeting together, talking with each other, getting to know each other. All over the world it's happening, especially in the United States. Okay, Sudhir Ahmed says we should heed to create universal brotherhood. Now, we should need to create universal brotherhood and sisterhood now. Yes, we must. And how will it happen, all of this? How will world peace come? I have been told very, very clearly in so many words, the women will establish world peace. The men have a tendency to fight. That is male ego. But women have a tendency to cooperate. That's the nature of the female body, because Women give birth to children, and so they have a natural tendency to love others, to take care of others. So women actually are going to establish universal brotherhood, sisterhood, universal peace. World peace will be established when women take their rightful role. Actually, Quaid-e-Azam, Rahmatullah alayhi, said the same thing. He said that the women must play their proper role, then Pakistan will be successful. So Pakistan's success means world peace will come. So I've not said that yet today, but I've often said that. We must, not men, when I say we, I mean men, we must allow the women to take their natural position of leadership. There are two types of leadership: military type of leadership, which is natural for men, and a spiritual type of leadership, intuitive leadership, which is natural for women. So we men must realize this, and we will never be successful in our attempts to create world peace and universal brotherhood until we allow the women with their maternal nature, with their caring nature, to take the lead. And I will tell one story. This story shocked me when I read it. It shocked me into realizing that this is true about women bringing peace. So I have a friend named Wesley Arya Raja. He is a Sri Lankan Christian Methodist, like myself. As a child, I was a Methodist also. So he was a great, very, very intelligent, very spiritually deep pastor, minister in Sri Lanka. And then he joined in working together with people of different religions, and he finally came in charge of the interfaith work of the World Council of Churches. And so he was organizing conferences of people of different religions to come together, try to work together. And he found that there was always so much trouble because the religious leaders were always suspicious of the others, as we just discussed, and they had their own turf, as we say. They had their own territory, their religious territory, and they wanted to preserve that. They were not really willing to, it requires cooperation, it requires compromise to work together with other people, and they weren't willing to do that. So he was actually very frustrated and disappointed in his attempts to bring about some sort of interfaith harmony. And then he organized a conference, an interfaith conference, only for women. He was the only man present at that conference because he organized it, so he had to be there. And all the participants in that conference were women. And he said he himself was astonished when he saw how immediately it was a totally different atmosphere. The women were all not even considering different religions. They were all just working together in love and cooperation, talking together in a very friendly way. And they didn't have this ego, my religion, my territory. They just immediately were, he said he was amazed to see how it was totally different than the men being together when the women were alone. So when I read that story, because I first read it in a book that Wesley had written, I said, yes, this is what I felt for a long time, and now it's been confirmed that women are going to bring about world peace. Yes. So Sudhir Ahmed says, cynical people are always exists in every religion and use people for their own benefits. We should try to educate people how to get rid of these cynical people. No, we don't want to get rid of the cynical people. We want to love them and bring them in. We don't want to get rid of anyone. We want to bring everyone in, inshallah. Farooq Umar Siru says, we have 3,000 deaths in 4 months, but Pakistan is still paralyzed due to lockdown. That's next level BS. Yes, these lockdowns, I've said it many times, this is a satanic plan to lock down the world economy, to destroy the world's economy, so they can introduce their own controlled digital economy. They want to get rid of money, so everyone can only buy or sell things if they have a electronic permission, which they want to do by inserting a chip in everyone. Everyone will be required to buy and sell only by having this chip in them, which is actually, many Christians say, I think it's true, there are prophecies in the Bible that the mark of the beast will be implanted on the forehead or the wrist of people, and they will not be able to buy or sell unless they have that mark of the beast on them. So that mark of the beast is, many Christians say, and it makes sense to me too, it is that chip that the satanic forces want to implant in everyone, because they're doing it in the wrist, especially right now they're doing it, and the forehead will be, it wants to be the sign, just like the mask. The mask is the sign that you are the slave of the satanic forces who are telling all these lies about corona deaths and virus and everything. Instead of just having a mask, they'll make everyone have a mark on their forehead too. A computer readable mark. It may be invisible even. They have now invisible marks that we cannot read, or see rather, but the computer can read. So that's why they're doing the lockdown. It has nothing to do really with the stopping the coronavirus. They want the coronavirus to spread, increase more and more, so people will be more and more afraid. And even if it's not spreading, they're saying it's spreading. Even if it's not happening, they're saying there's going to be another wave, so you must lock down more. It's all a scam. I don't say that the disease is false. I don't say the disease is not happening. I don't say people are not dying and getting sick. But people are always dying. And as I said, was it just yesterday? If you look at the figures, statistics, you will see very easily that there's a lot of fake deaths. Why? Because, at least in the United States, this has been proven. People keep good records in the United States, and probably in Pakistan too, you can do it. Look at the number of deaths that were the last year from different diseases and from different causes. And that has gone down for many of the causes. Significantly, it's gone down. Why are so many fewer people dying of this disease and that disease this year than they were last year? Because those deaths are being falsely listed as COVID-19 deaths. You must know this. And doctors, I've said this many times, many doctors, even a senator from the state of Minnesota who's a medical doctor, and he's a Democrat, he said that we doctors are being ordered that when somebody dies, we must put on their death certificate that they died from COVID-19, even if they didn't, but maybe they had some contact with some person who had COVID-19. So this is going on in the world now. A lot of fake news, a lot of false information, especially about this coronavirus, because they want to keep everyone paralyzed, locked down, paralyzed with fear, economy paralyzed. Fortunately, in America, President Trump is well aware of all of this, and he is not following. He's not wearing the mask. He's having, just yesterday, day before yesterday now, he had a huge political convention, which I heard these Democrats are so horrible. Just to make President Trump look bad, they bought lots of seats in his political rally, and then those seats were empty because they didn't go. So they said, so then they could show, oh look, President Trump was failure in his political convention. All these seats were empty because these rascals had bought the tickets, not meaning to go, but just so everyone would see their empty seats. Actually, many people wanted to go to that conference, that convention, that political rally, I say, but they couldn't get tickets. Many more people wanted to go than could get tickets, and many of the tickets were bought by Democrats who just wanted to make it look like President Trump could not fill up that stadium. So this is going on. There is a war, really a very serious struggle going on, in which cheating and disinformation and deceit is the main weapon of the satanic forces that are trying to stop Trump. Trump is fighting against them. And so this is really what's going on in the world. So this is a good day today. We have just had a new season of summer begin. We have just had a new month begin, new lunar month. We've just had a new week begin and a new day in the last matter of hours. So this is a new beginning, a new chance for all of us to understand, yes, what is really happening in the world is the satanic control is ending and the kingdom of God is being established, which people have been waiting for thousands of years. We are so fortunate to be alive in this very time, the day of judgment. Okay, I think that that's about all. We've gone on long enough, and I will try to look at some of these comments that I haven't been able to come to yet, but I'm going today to, my wife and I are going to be traveling today, so but thank you all very, very much for all your comments. Oh, I just am going down. I see so many comments and questions are there, but maybe I should read a couple of more questions. Mazhar Chisti says, how can I search Kamil Murshid? Very important question. And the answer is, purify your heart. Pray. Do zikr. Beg God to help you find a Kamil Murshid. And if you pray sincerely, he will help you and you will find. It is said, there's a famous saying, when the disciple is ready, the teacher appears. So as soon as you are ready to become a true Kamil Murid, you will find a Kamil Murshid. He will come to you one way or another. Okay, I'm going to read one or two more. Sudhir Ahmed says, first of all, you should guide us. How can we understand their tricks? And then what measurements should we adopt to save ourselves and generation from these cynical people? Though it's hard, but not impossible. Well, interestingly, the best way to understand their tricks is just to pray. Because we are very, very powerful. We don't realize how powerful. Human beings are a very, very special creation, very powerful. We have an intuitive ability. We can see the truth when we purify our hearts. So that's what we have to do. We have to pray, call on the name of God, very sincerely beg to please purify my heart, O God. So why? So that I can understand the truth. That's the way to understand the truth. By purifying your heart, and then you will be able to see the truth directly, or you will be able to hear God's guidance directly in your heart, and then you will be able to see their tricks, the tricks of Dajjal. We're praying every day to God to please protect us. So, أعوذ بك من عذاب الجهنم من عذاب القبر من شر فتنة الممات وشر فتنة المسيح الدجال. We are praying to God to protect us from the tricks of the cynical, the tricks of Dajjal. So he is very active in the world right now, so we must go on praying very, very sincerely, regularly. Oh God, protect us from the machinations, from the tricks of Dajjal. That's the best measurement we can take, is prayer and purifying our hearts. Then it will become clear, and they won't be able to trick us and fool us anymore. Okay, let's see. Maram Mahsood says, sir, it is important to have guide. Oh, guide for spiritual journey. What about those who didn't have while they are on this path? What's your views? Well, if for some reason you can't have a guide on your spiritual journey, then God will guide you in your heart. But to get the guidance of God in our heart, we need external guide usually. But if for some reason we cannot get that guide, then God himself will become our guide and he will help us. But he always tells us, in every religion they have the same teaching. If you want to understand the truth, then try to find a spiritual guide. Be very, very sincere in your search and accept that guide's guidance, and that guide, he or she, not only he. In fact, I believe that women will be the best spiritual guides in the world, as we will see happening more and more. Myself, my spiritual guide is a woman. So we will get a spiritual guide. We should not be prejudiced. Some people think, oh, a woman cannot be a spiritual guide, and they're losing out on many very good spiritual guides. No, don't think you cannot have a woman for your spiritual guide. I think they will be the better guides right now, being intuitive by nature. Women have more tendency to be intuitive, and men have more tendency to be rational. So in the past, rationality has always been prominent in most places in the world. Therefore, men have been considered superior. But actually, intuition is, if anything, more important than rationality. So now, as people are understanding this, women are coming into their true role, their true spiritual leadership role. And many spiritual guides will be women, and that will be the creation of the kingdom of God on earth and the world peace, God willing. Okay. Let's see. So we have a verse from Quran. Yasmid Farid. Allah said in Quran, "This day I have perfected for you your religion and completed my favor upon you and have approved for you Islam as religion." Al-Ma'idah 5:3. If there are two paths, one is straight to Allah, and there is zigzag, because Almighty Allah said Islam is chosen as religion. It is better to follow straight path. What do you think? Yes, it's better to follow the straight path, Siratul Mustaqim. We daily pray to God to guide us in the straight path, and unfortunately, Muslims generally think that their understanding of Islam is correct, so everyone should become a Muslim and join them in their understanding of Islam. No. Holy Prophet himself has made it very, very crystal clear to me, as long ago as 2012, 8 years ago, he told me that Muslims, those who call themselves Muslims, consider themselves Muslims, they don't really understand what it means to be a Muslim. And they take this verse from the Quran and they think it means that everyone should become a Muslim like them. No, that's not what Islam means. When Allah says that I have chosen Islam as your religion, that means surrender to God. It doesn't mean what you think Islam means. That is crystal clear to me. I have no doubt at all that you are mistaken if you think that only the followers of Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are following the straight path. No. Every religion teaches the straight path. And in every religion, sincere people of correct understanding, they are following the straight path. So please correct your misunderstanding. Please forgive me if I'm offending you, but I've been told this is the truth and I must proclaim this truth. There will never be world peace until there is peace and love amongst the religions. And there will never be peace and love amongst the religions as long as the people of each religion think, my religion is the right one, everyone should join my religion. No. There is only one religion, Deen, Deeni Islam. Everything is Deeni Islam. Every religion. In every religion there are true teachings. So every religion is Islam. And in fact, I like to refer to this time because it was wonderful. In, I think it was about September in 2017. I had just been in Pakistan for more than a month, and I had become a Muslim. I had started saying the namaz 5 times a day, and I was following Muslim law, rigidly even, you can say. And I was thinking, because Pakistanis were telling me that, Muslims were telling me, you must do this if you want to be a Muslim. And then, Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, appeared to me, and he didn't directly criticize me. He didn't say you've done something wrong, but he said, everyone of every religion who sincerely follows the teaching of their religion, he used the word Sharia, the Sharia of their religion, they will be successful. They are Muslims. And in fact, I don't know if I should say this, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Sikhs, he said, are better Muslims than the Muslims. Think about that. So you think the only straight path to Allah is what you think is Islam? No. Every religion teaches the straight path. Okay, I guess that's a good way to end. But okay, I'll do one more. Anika Asad says, Sir, in Naimatullah Shah Wali prediction, it's mentioned that Ghazwa Hind will last for 6 years. You say it's happening already. Sir, what do you say? How much time is passed and when it will end? Oh, well, this is the first time I ever heard that he said Ghazwa Hind would last 6 years. Um, all I know is that last year on 9th of November, when the corridor was opened, but the Kartarpur corridor was opened, that the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, personally told me, this is our first great victory in the Ghazwa-e-Hind. So that means it's going on right now, or at least it was last November. So um, I don't know how long it will go on, 6 years or how many years. I don't know when it started, but it obviously has already started, and I don't know how much time has passed and when it will end. So I'm sorry I can't answer that question, but I do know for sure that it is happening right now. We're in the middle of it. And when Pakistanis become pure, that'll be the victory of Ghazwa-e-Hind. It'll be a victory of love and truth, not a military victory as most people think. Well, there may be some military events also, but the real victory in Ghazwa-e-Hind will not be a military victory. It'll be a victory of the heart. It'll be a victory of love. When the people of India themselves see, oh, look at these Pakistanis, Khalistanis, the Muslims and Sikhs, they are together in such love. They're serving each other. That's what we want. That will be the victory of Ghazwa-e-Hind. Okay, thank you very much. Peace be with you all. May God protect us. Allah Hafiz.